And when we actually look at Bitcoin, the payment system and the financial stack, there really isn't a lot of great activity there. Bitcoin's done something great, which is it's created digital gold, an asset that is really valuable because it costs a lot to make. But that asset doesn't need to live on the Bitcoin network in order for it to be useful in a financial context.
As crypto space is dealing with major problems in the current days, it is hard to keep an optimistic approach on everything. The latest downtrend seems to bring in maximum fear in the markets, but as we all know, bad news come and go, but Bitcoin remains the same. That being said, it is really important to not tunnel vision into the news and bring more focus on the fundamental side of things. In this video, Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, will explain the biggest downside and flaw of Bitcoin, while also reminding us why Cardano is taking it slow and steady, while still remaining the top 10 cryptocurrency in the world. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. We bring the latest news on the crypto space. Now let's jump to the clip.
So there's Bitcoin, the mining operation, and there is Bitcoin, the payment system, and the financial stack. These are two very different things. So Bitcoin, the mining operation, nobody in the world could argue is not successful. It's gone from a single user, the inventor, in 13 years to a situation where people are building multi-$100 million mining operations next to like flare gas wells, natural gas wells and using flare gas. So that's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. No one has ever done that in any other industry so quickly. And literally billions of dollars have been spent building these operations. Well, the point is to extract Bitcoin, and because they're valuable. Now, just so happens that at the same time, that subsidizes the existence of Bitcoin, the payment system, Bitcoin, the financial stack. And when we actually look at Bitcoin, the payment system and the financial stack, there really isn't a lot of great activity there. Why? Because Bitcoin can only process 7 transactions per second. It has a very slow settlement time, about 60 minutes for finality, give or take. And you can't issue your assets. You can't do complex transactions. So my whole commentary was that we should focus on the fact that Bitcoin's done something great, which is it's created digital gold, an asset that is really valuable because it costs a lot to make. But that asset doesn't need to live on the Bitcoin network in order for it to be useful in a financial context. It could be moved as a wrapped asset to another network, and that other network could use it for stable coins, it could use it for DeFi lending, and it could use it for payments, anything you want. Just like I can take a gold bar from the mine and I can go and send it to Tel Aviv, or I can send it to Rome, or I can send it to New York City or something like that. And as evidence, there's, I think, $4.5 billion worth of Bitcoin that's been moved out of the network, and it's now wrapped Bitcoin living on Ethereum. And then the question is, do you still need to run the network to actually preserve that store of value and continue consuming more energy than the country of Ecuador or Switzerland? Doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like saying we're no longer getting any gold out of the mine, but we need to keep all the miners employed and keep the lights on and keep all the heavy equipment operating and so forth. You're like, well, the gold mine's over. Why don't we just shut it down and sell all the gold and, have other people use it? It's necessary to create a digital gold because there's a predictable cost of value there, and it's not connected to use and utility. There's an intrinsic value to that. So it looks a lot like a natural resource in that respect, and that's fine. But the question is, do you have to keep mining in order for that sunk cost that you've put in to continue? And the answer is no. The further mining operations, all that's doing for you is it's giving you a payment system that nobody wants to use, and it's giving you a financial stack that is vastly inferior to every single cryptocurrency on market because it's the prototype, it's the first mover in that respect, and it's never been upgraded to match the capabilities of Cardano, Ethereum, Avalanche, and Algorand and other systems. They can't say, well, we have Lightning and we have Elements and we have all these other things. So I say, well, you're literally locking your Bitcoin and using a different network to get your utility. So is there any material difference between that and what I'm saying about wrapped Bitcoin on other systems? You're just moving it a little further away, but at the end of the day, a different protocol is managing that Bitcoin at the end of the rainbow.
Charles Hoskinson points out that Bitcoin has done incredible things, working as a digital asset, like gold or silver, but if we want to use it as a financial instrument, we may have to take a different approach. With slow transaction speeds, Bitcoin is unable to act as a digital currency, but Charles suggests to bring in other protocols to host transactions that could be more efficient for the ecosystem. Also, in the next clip, Charles addresses the hate that his crypto project is getting. Why does he prefer to have a more slow and steady approach to building a more trusted and reliable crypto ecosystem, and why Cardano, despite the lack of assigned coin value growth, is still one of the best crypto projects in the world? Let's see what Charles has to say.
I mean, how fast would you like us to move? Like at Luna speed? Was that fast enough? I mean, it's kind of preposterous when you're talking about a system that is in charge of tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars of other people's money. And at the end of the day, if they fail, they could even result in death. Like a privacy coin, if a person gets doxxed, they could be killed by their government or arrested. That you would say, oh, well, the only thing that matters is getting as many customers as quickly as possible. What they're really saying is, we'd like the token price to go up a 10x or 100x so we can sell and make money. If you're really concerned about government adoption, company adoption, and real use and utility and billions of customers, the protocol should be around for 10 years or 20 years or 30 years or 40 years, like TCP/IP, for example, with the internet. So you have plenty of time to think about these things. What really matters is your growth curve. Cardano keeps getting more capable every year. And what have we lost? We now have smart contracts. We have blockchain-based governance. We have the best-in-class consensus protocol. We have a strong, stable community. We've always been a top 10 cryptocurrency. And it looks like we're going to fare very well in the next bull market, especially given that there's a lot of great dApps that are in our ecosystem. Meanwhile, we haven't had $35 billion of DeFi hacks. We haven't had catastrophic protocol failure. We haven't had 99% reduction in token value overnight because of a flawed economic model. And we have an understandable system that everybody can connect to and understand. And
Charles points out that despite the lack of growth Cardano is experiencing, it has also never been out of the top 10 crypto space, while being safe and reliable crypto ecosystem with no disturbances or lost money due to hacks or liquidity problems. Also, Charles mentions that we should be optimistic for the next year for Cardano, so maybe, finally the coin will start to ramp up the price and gain more market cap over the year to come. The real question is, can we trust Charles on delivering what he promises? What do you think? Will Cardano finally see the surge of the price it has been so anticipated for? Does Bitcoin need to overcome the struggle it has with the financial side of things, like Charles mentioned before? Write your comments down below. This was Investalence, and we'll see you in another clip.